Here we are at the Creator Studio at DevFest London. Our first guest for today is Gus Martins, who is the product manager at Google DeepMind. Gus, you spent many years at DevRel. For those who haven't met you yet, could you please let us know what's your day-to-day job look like?
As a DevRel or as a product manager?
Currently as product manager.
That's a good question. As a product manager, our goal is to push product forward, right? So we create the vision, we create the strategy, and we make sure that whatever we think is the best for the product happens. So we have to understand how a product works, how the market works, what the users want, what are things that are possible, things that are not possible, what needs research, what needs integrations with other products. So on my daily basis, what I do a lot is I talk to other product managers to align partnerships, for example. I talk to users or customers to get feedback, which is something I did a lot while DevRel, developer relations, but now I also do as a product manager using my developer relations expertise I had. So we talk to customers to make sure to understand what's important for them, what's needed. Of course, I talk to the engineering team to discuss what's possible. On my case, I work on the Gemma model, so I also work with researchers to understand what they're working on, how can we use this on a future model, what are the pros and the cons. So I have to talk to all this, and I have to talk to leadership to make sure they understand why we're doing something. So the idea of product managers is kind of the CEO of the product,
yeah. Right?
For Gemma, I'm not the only one. I have other colleagues, but we represent this product to leadership. So whenever there is a problem, it comes to us. When there is a win, we share with the team. Let's say like that. So it's a busy day, but a lot of, let's say, conversation, planning, understanding how to work with others.
Okay, awesome. That sounds like 40 hours a week is not enough,
no.
You know? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, awesome. Your bio also changed that you're passionate about how ML can change society. Now, my question here is, how does your work on Gemma, an open model, directly connects to that passion?
That's a great question. So Gemma as an open model is available to everyone, and it enables people to do research on it. This year, specifically, there are a couple of situations where the work we did is already impacting society in a good way. Recently, maybe a month ago, was released something Cell to Sentence, C2S, which is they got Gemma model, and they fine-tune with specific data to help find new treatments for cancer. And this is pretty insane because cancer is pretty hard disease, pretty tough to deal with. But what they did is they did a process that I'm not going to go into details, I'm not an expert on that, but they could query the Gemma model with a question about cancer. It would suggest a specific treatment. They tested the treatment and it worked. So this is pretty amazing. This is helping develop new treatments based on the work we did. This is based on our work. Other thing that was very cool is we have a dolphin Gemma that it's pretty fun, which is a way to communicate with other species. Of course, the model does not translate dolphin to English, but it will enable us to establish a common vocabulary with them. And at some point, establish a communication. We would be able to communicate, which is amazing. And it's not a thing that we did, oh, that's fun. We collaborated with dolphin researchers, people that are doing this for 40 years. And fun fact, on the top 100 people on AI that Times did, Gemma is twice, and one of the ways it shows up is with this researcher. I forgot her name, and I'm going to even try to, because if I say wrong, it will be bad. But the main researcher for dolphin communication. So this is amazing. I think there's many other places where Gemma will start to be help to the society, and that's the thing that I'm very happy with.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So we've been at many events, kind of like throughout the years. I remember that, like those one. So you've spent over 9 years in DevRel, right, before shifting to product.
Yeah.
Now, just a quick one. What prompted that change?
So I'm one of the people that started the Gemma project. Me and a couple of researchers and other people. And at some point they said, oh, we have to hire a PM for this. And for me, it was like, I've been working on this for a long time, and as a DevRel, I have to work with product managers to make things happen. So there's, no matter what I do, I have to work with someone to make things happen because that's their job. I said, instead of me having to convince someone about what I want, it's better if I am that person. So I convinced less one person. So that was my goal. I have to convince less one person. That's it. So that, and it was a good opportunity. I guess I was doing, you know, when you're doing something for a long time and you're kind of, I was okay-ish on my job. So a chance learning more was doing something different. So that's what I choose.
Well, knowing you and the know how much for developers and everything, I think you were more than okay-ish at your job.
Thank you.
I can say that. So I have a couple of questions over here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you've been at DevFest quite a few times, right?
Multiple times.
Yeah. So we are now at DevFest London, which is organized by GDG London, GDG Cloud London. So as someone who has been on, on the kind of on the DevRel and now on the products, it's kind of both sides, and stuff. So what does community mean to you?
Well, it's as I mentioned, the keynote is like superpower, right? Being with people like-minded, trying to build cool stuff with you in all the levels, so you learn, you teach, you can be part of it, you can come and give a talk, share, you meet people. That's just like, I took a long time to find out about communities. Maybe they weren't that popular when I started as a developer. But when you find out, it's like, oh, I need to be part of this because this helps you. It's like a networking opportunity. It's amazing. It's like you have to be part of it. So it's one thing that I always recommend people. If you're a developer, you have a community of whatever technology it is, right? Find your community around so you can share, be part of it, give a presentation, help organize an event like my colleagues here. This is amazing. This is a way to grow professionally, like a very good way to grow professionally, let's say.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So apart from today's, well, I would say this one is kind of like an experience and stuff. Do you remember any past experience that maybe stuck with your mind over the years or anything like that?
I have a couple of those. Yeah. I have specifically, I remember being on this building on the other side of the corridor. I gave a workshop there last year about GMO, which was super fun. People were very engaged, lots of good questions. The other one, when I talk to people, I get a lot of feedback, so people give me feedback, so this is always great. This year I did a keynote for Google I/O, which was a very interesting experience. Something that I still remember parts of it. That was I guess one of the to end my DevRel career. Give that keynote was I guess one of the highlights of my DevRel career. I give many talks here, right, in the DevFest London. Not only on DevFest London, but sometimes in other events, and it's always fun. I always like the conversation, talk to people. That's why I was talking to someone. They have to go pick me up down there because I was talking to people non-stop. Maybe I talk too much. And then, so you have to go record. So yeah, sorry. But that part of, if I say something that's a little bit helpful to someone, that's a win already, right? Because I am very privileged to have years of experience in doing this. If I can help someone do one step in the right direction, that's a win. They don't even need to come tell me. Just do the right step and good luck. But that's the win, right? That's what I would like people to have done for me when I was intern or something like that, right? So that's always a win.
Yeah, makes sense. One of the events for me, I remember it was last year. I think it was last year. Towards the end of the event, there was a Q&A. It was all about, up there, about AI. I remember it was full. It was almost 5 p.m. and it was dark outside because, November and London and everything, but it was full and it was questions after question after question. So that was one thing. You mentioned,
I remember that. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was very good. You mentioned about giving the developer keynote at I/O this year, which I remember you receiving a standing ovation. And you mentioned now that you don't fully remember it. Do you remember walking out on the stage? How did it feel, or that's still blurry?
What I remember because you have to wait outside a little bit so they queue you in, right? I remember being there, like it was 1 minute to go. I remember everything up to that moment. Everything, there was a lot of cool stuff up to that moment, and then they take your phone out with you so you don't have stuff on you. At that moment, I said, oh, maybe I should review my talk now. Because that was when it hit like, oh my God, this is the keynote for Google I/O.
Yeah.
I cannot make a mistake here. And then I said, oh, maybe I should review my deck now. And it's like, what? The guy was finishing, almost saying my name, hey, Gus, next. And I'm like, but then I said, oh, well, I cannot, that's gone, right? You cannot do anything. And then I entered the thing, and then from there it's a blank. And then I do a demo. In this demo, I have to show a picture. I do a demo on the stage on Collab, which is fun. I practice that multiple times. But there is one request I do for the public. Hey, can someone show me a prompt? And that, I remember that moment because I asked one person, one of the researchers that work with me, hey, when I say this, can you say exactly this thing? And I said that without any other context. And then I went on with my life because my head was in many places. And when it happened, she said the thing. And I was like, oh, nice, it worked. And I remember that because it was like, oh my God, this worked. And then from there, blank. And then I remember leaving the stage. I was like, oh, that was cool. Yeah. And then later, I saw pictures of slides that I've never seen. Because while you practice, you don't keep seeing the slides. The slides keep changing nonstop. And you have to pay attention to how you deliver. So I saw pictures. I was like, "Oh, that's a nice slide. I don't remember it, but it's nice because you don't keep looking, right?" So it was an interesting thing. I'm lot to learn there, but it was good. I hope to do more.
Yeah, that was actually very good. I can tell you didn't just get a standing ovation, that you also got online as well, us looking at you from here.
Nice.
So yeah, we were like, oh, we know that person. Oh my God, that's Gus. Yeah, we know that person. We're friends with him.
Thank you.
Yeah. Finally, I have just one last question. So for that developer, let's say like it's out there at the event over here, that who is inspired by your journey and wants to follow your footsteps, what's a single advice you want to give to them?
I think as of today in this AI era, the advice is use the tools. Try to use AI on your daily routines. Try to understand how it can help you. Try to understand how this tech works, because I think we're moving to a place where this is going to be every place, everywhere, even more. So knowing how it works and how it can help you gives you an advantage, right? Of people that say, this is nothing, it doesn't, use it. There's no way back. So if you're coding, use for coding. If you're writing docs, use it to write your docs. This is part one of the device. The part two of the device is, whatever you do, try to be the pilot, not the passenger. Because these models are pretty good, and they easily can become the passenger. And then all of a sudden you just throw stuff, you don't even know what's going on. I don't like that. I prefer to, no. I know where I want to go. I use these tools to assist me. As maybe they assist a little bit more here, a little bit less there, but I know where I'm going. I read everything. Sometimes I have to post something about something. I write my post, and again, not English, not my first language. So hey, can you help me correct? Because sometimes I use words in the wrong order. And well, we all know, right? We use, for us it makes sense, but the model said, no, rephrase here because, but I created the content. I like doing that. Mm-hmm. And this is I think that I tell people, like, try to be the pilot and understand how things work. There's a gigantic opportunity here. So that's my multiple levels tip.
Great. Yeah, that's great. Well, Gus, as always, it's been a pleasure having you today. We will share this one after everything's done. But yeah, it's been always amazing to see you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the event. Beautiful event. Always glad to be here. Whenever I see DevFest, nice, let me. Yeah, I'll be there. That's always cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.